Oh, the ordering, yeah, exactly. The get input, right? The ordering how you put the get input. So can you tell me what line is responsible for this? Sorry, I don't understand. Where is sorry, I don't understand?
187, 188.
Is in get input, right? In get input here is sorry, I don't understand. So you should prevent this from running, right?
Oh, so the break should be before that if it's exit.
Yeah. So for example, if you say if input is, I'm going to show you a better way, okay? So if input is, for now let's do the really stupid way, exit, then what? Then let's say do nothing. If you don't want to do anything else in this method, then you can just say then return instead of break. Return will finish that method. That's one way. And then some people, you will read on the internet that, oh, return is really bad. You know, it breaks the flow and it's unpredictable. There are some good reasons some people don't like bad programmers writing return. So you're like, okay, fine, right? I just say do nothing, and then I say else, right? And then in this, I put a whole thing here in a block, and I can also do that, okay? Then some programmers say, no, that's stupid. Why do you have this if do nothing? They invent unless for that. Oh, okay, so unless means you, this statement is not, right? You don't want to write if not like this, because it doesn't look as cool, right? So you use unless. But please, if you use unless, never have something complicated on the right hand side, okay? So this is simple. But if you like, if input is like that, and you know, count is 5, and then it's impossible to read, right? First time is true, you know, this is a variable. Then this is now impossible because it's actually doing that, right? And then when you take out this not, if you really take it not, it's actually not doing not exit or not account. If you know, this is in math. That's why, you know, no human brain can process that. If you really want to do the unless everything, unless A and B and C is the same as if not A or not B or not C. So the not actually convert your and into an or as well. So don't hurt anyone's brain. If you use the multiple one, then use if, right? And then you can just say do nothing here or return. Okay? Nothing, right? And then you say else. However, in the case of very simple statement, right? If male or female, if input is not exit, okay? So I use unless there. Make sense? So this looks a little bit better. However, there's the same logic here. I don't like it that you're checking if this and this here. And I don't like it that get input is sort of asked twice. I'm going to improve that. This is, you can watch this part again. Maybe just try to be a better programmer as we structure the flow. When we knew this is not obvious at all. And it's okay to do it the funny way. Like I can repeat myself here and make sure things work. It's very clear to read, okay? But in this case, I'm going to make it slightly better. It's only from experience. So I realized that get input here, it's the same thing. So I'm just going to say get input, and then I don't even need this unless thing. I'm just going to say I loop everything like that, okay? What would you like to do? What would you like to do? So the first thing I want, I'm going to move this one up. Think about that, right? I move it up. So then, what would you like to do? I still will get input, okay? And I move this one out. I can even move this one out. Whoa. You can just say if, right? Get input, and what should get input return? if get input returns false, maybe, then I just stop. So you can say get input. If get input is good, then you do the other things. If not, then you can break. Does that make sense? Right? So then here you can say bad input. Okay? Oh, not bad input, exiting. So you can even name your method something like or exit. Name it something that's really, really clear. Okay? So now I expect this get input or exit method to be returning false or nil. So in Ruby, it's called truthy, falsy. The guys that are like false is false or nil. Nil means no value. False means boolean. So Ruby allows you to check for both cases here. So get, notice I name it now get input or exit. So I have to update that. Okay. Okay.
But don't if you hit enter right there, the way feedback will exit. So like the way you, I could be wrong. Like right there, if the user once it gives us that prompt to get input, if you hit enter again, won't that be nil? And then it'll exit.
User enter again. What do you mean?
So when we run the method start prompt, right? It gives us it'll say it'll run the get input or exit. So it'll ask us for our input. But if we hit enter again for our input, that will go to the method, and then it'll give us an empty string back, right?
Input here. Yeah. So we haven't handled that case.
Okay, so alright, cool.
No, you have to notice. So thanks for asking that. Right, what I've done earlier is that I removed all this logic about the word exit. You don't see it anymore. It has to come back. I took it out, but it's, we don't just throw it out for free. We have to put it back. So down here, all these cases, I need one case for exit. Right? Else if what? Maybe input equals to exit. See? Then I have to return something unique just for this. And given that we have display, when you display, you call puts, and puts doesn't return anything. That's why it's called nil. So your function kind of just return puts everywhere. So maybe in this case, I'm just gonna return exit. I changed my mind. I will just return exit, and this string is special. It tells my program to exit. Okay? So instead of the word return, I could write return here. But in Ruby, it's kind of obvious. Like it just say, hey, let's just all agree that the last statement is a return statement. So it just saves you the effort. All right? Doesn't bother me. This one returns nil. See? All right. Because this one returns exit, I have to update my code. Now here, if it is not exit, then I go ahead, right? But then I feel like this logic is not nice. If it's exit, I will break. Else, you see how my code is getting a little better, right? User enter, exit, right? Time to quit. And then everything else will handle it this way. Does the code seem a little bit better? Easy to read? And then you're like, maybe the chomping thing now can happen inside. Right? And in fact, you don't even need this input at all. Look, there's no need for input. So I just take out input, get input or exit. I can even just make this one a method. And this method now can take argument or not. Okay? So I'm also explaining one more thing that you may not understand right now, but if you revisit it, it will make sense. You may think that, I can just say input gets.chomp. So what is get? You get the input from the user. Chomp removes the enter key because the enter key got recorded as well. So you may think you want to do this. Okay? Nothing wrong with this. Now your code will run this fine. So Control C to get out if you just want to quit your program forcefully. And then what you want to do, exit. It works. What you want to do, maybe, I don't know, done. Then you display done. So everything seems to work. Okay? So what do? We just move the logic of putting the inputs in here. Okay? Now, I showed that you guys want to do IRB thing here. Sometimes it's easier to test, so I run require relative to do. But she has a different to do name, so I just name it to do.rb, but you don't need the .rb part, okay? I require that. And it executes the whole file, so you will see some text here, right? However, what happens? It runs the whole prompt as well, right? Okay, I exit. Okay, I still have my to do class. So if I want to test manually, I will have to call my to do as to do.new. Okay? What is with to do.new here? She decided that, okay, we have to have one argument. No problem. We do this, right? And then we assign it to do. You can call it any variable. So now you can test the method that you spent so much time writing. What is that method? To do dot get input or exit. Okay? And then you test. Okay, I want to test. What is that? It's waiting for a prompt. So I just try the prompt exit. Exit. Okay. I type again. What am I testing? I wait for done. And then, it shows done. Then now you realize that maybe it's better if I can just test I want to test like this. I want to be able to test like this. Then I can copy and paste all my tests. Would you prefer that? Instead of writing and then enter the prompt again.
Yeah.
So then it's really simple. You just need to do one more step. You say, hey, I don't need an argument, but you happen to have it. If you don't give me any, I'll ask for it. But if you give me any, I will just use that instead of asking for the user again. You see, I just refactored your code, means I updated. Same functions, right? Same output. But now, look, this is called the default argument. If you don't parse any argument, it will do this and give input the value. If you parse any argument, then this part get ignored and then input get used. So I have to quit, okay, and then I try again. IRB, notice you can press up to do. I need to require, right? Require to do like that. And of course I need to exit from this guy, no problem. And let's try again. Here, to do. Now you can test it the old way, right? And then you see if exit works. It works. You can also test the new way. Also works. You can test it without parentheses because Ruby said you don't need to. Then now you can test with I wonder what it does when I call done, when I call find, right? Type of word. You want to find cell? Cannot find that.
Sorry, so the definition of working here is when it exits, it just doesn't do anything?
Yeah, so get input or exit. In this case, if it's exit, you don't do anything, but it relays the information back to the parent, the prompt guy, will just say, right? So imagine you're a company and someone go to your reception and give you the form, and that form, the reception will just have to give you to sign. But in that form, say don't sign, and you look at it, it's okay, give back to reception. So the idea here is that I am not doing anything, return it, get out. But if I want to do anything else, then you have the reception. This is your interface. They have to tell the user what to do next and repeat. Okay? Maybe this is like your reception say, I'm sick today. Can I quit? Can I go home? All right. Okay, so let's jump into more interesting stuff. Let's think about ideas to make apps more interesting, 1 minute, I'll go around the room and ask, how can we improve this app to make it a little more interesting? User interface, right? User experience, not the features. Just display, talking about displaying. Any ideas? So I have a README file. Maybe I'll just close this app now. I go back to the my simpler to-do app. Okay, anyone? Give me any random ideas. Right, this is my README file. You see that, let's say I finished implementing everything. Okay, and then here is that improvement, right? UI UX improvement. Each person give me one idea. Victor, you want to start? It's just a boring command line app right now. Give me one idea to make it better.
Maybe a deadline.
Okay, maybe support deadline. I think Fu already have an idea about prioritization. Support priorities. This is still features though. Anything is just about visual.
You said earlier about putting it in a table.
Display
In a table?
in a table. Okay. Maybe it's trickier to display in the table, right? We only know how to do puts.
Display the target very before the deadline.
Display.
Remind.
Remind. You guys keep thinking about features. Fu, do you have anything else? Colors! Finally, we have something that is not featured. Just to make it fun. So, something like that. Maybe, new line table. So, I have two things here. So, for example, this is under feature improvement. Okay? And UI UX improvements here. Feature improvements is deadline, priorities, reminders. And then up here we have displaying a table, coloring. Right? Uh-oh. No, this will be up here. So taking notes, like dumping the thoughts that we have about the program down here. We may read it and we change our mind and make it better in the future. Let's look at the improvement in terms of UI UX. This is the power of programming. You don't have to do it yourself. You look at any website, any web application, phone application, anything that's beautiful there. Display this. It's all someone else's work, and people just putting things together. Right? Your house is beautiful because of the furniture you bought, not because of the furniture you built. Right? So we might have to buy some libraries to make things better, but in the programming world, a lot of things are free. So this is the first time you guys realize that, oh, I've been writing all this code by myself. It's so lonely. Let's use someone else's code. Okay? When you run a file like this, ruby to-do.rb, you are calling your own code. What if I can say, calling this, but I also say include, Lois library, some table tool, whatever it is. These are called libraries. And in Ruby, you see the logo of Ruby is a gem. In Ruby, these are called gems. So, let me introduce the idea of gems, Ruby gems. Okay? People love building tools, libraries, and they package in that as a gem. You can think of it as a tool or a library or a package. They're all very similar. So when you have a gem, right, just look at this, right? 14 billion gem downloads. When you have a gem, you can include it in your code. And a lot of time it comes with a license. License means whether what permission you can have when you use that gem. And a lot of times we are very lucky that a lot of the gems here are all free under MIT license or like what the fuck license or Apache license, Berkeley license. When you see all of these names, it means it's free. You can use it. You don't even have to tell anyone that you use someone else's. This is mine. Let's do that. And it's very hard to know sort of what gem I need for to what purpose. Sometimes you have to look it up. So for example, maybe I say color what? Color, output in terminal. But then you're like, I'm coding Ruby, so I do that. And then you start to see people asking the same questions on the internet. And then you're like, okay, let's see what this guy said. Hey, is there any gem? So a lot of times now as we become lazy, we're like, any gem that can just do it for me? Obviously, you build a website, you need a gem to log user in and out, save the password, check the password is correct, send out an email if they forgot. Same thing here. Can I find a gem to just make sure my text looks prettier? And then people will just recommend. It's like, oh, this is my favorite. But there are a lot of other tools. And then so there's a movement called the awesome stuff. So let's say awesome Ruby, and you type that, and it's like, oh, this guy has a collection of awesome Ruby gems. So maybe I can browse here for ideas. In fact, this is just the GitHub page where people post code. It may not be pretty enough for some people, so then this guy just build, like, yay, go to awesomeruby.com instead. Well, it's the same thing. It's just, with some search and some extra thing. So then you go here and search color. Maybe, right? Oh, look, command line interface, CLI utility. So you can use paint, it's a gem. You can use that colorize, it's not even here. So let's check out paint. And then down here, this guy say, he likes this thing, and it's colorize. Okay? Are we ready to dig deeper? Oh, look, this gem is really popular. There are 743 other users who started. Just like liking your Facebook post. And then down here, this other gem, it's called formatador. I don't know, is it data? And then this guy has like 396, right? And it maybe try to do more. It's sort of try to format it. Do you guys see this? It's saying, then you can read before you use it. You can see whether I like the way this guy helps me write code. He defined a new method called display line. Let's look at this gem. Let's all decide together what we want to use to improve our app. So this guy said, hey, I wrote this thing called formatador. I don't know. And then he say, hey, instead of puts, you can just call display line. Okay? And then this guy, well, by the way, you can also display in colors. So then you just say display line, but the first thing you just say green here, and then you just close that, I think, right? Reset everything to normal. Just reset. So that's the syntax. Spend a little time. Any library, again, I would use the word gem instead of library or tool or package, right? Any gem that has a lot of users, they will have really clear instructions like this at the top. If not, no one will use your stuff.
Do you feel like you should read through the documents all the way through?
Absolutely not.
Okay, alright, cool.
Well, it depends on the usage, right? In this case, we want to learn, so we just want to read what's enough. I definitely don't need to read this until I'm super curious. I only need to learn like how to print out some colors. So read it all the way through. Look, this guy provides even more cool stuff like progress bar. Imagine if you want to print like how many percent your list is completed. Maybe you like this tool, right? Or another one. Let's read another one. Paint. So I accidentally clicked the first one. So paint. Let's compare. Really, don't just look at the stars. You can actually look at like how early or late it is. If it's super old, then you really don't want to use it. Well, a lot of times you don't. But if it's basic functions like this, the person who wrote it 5 years ago, 10 years ago, probably is just smart. So I don't care how up to date this one is. It's a very simple tool. But if it's a gem that connects with Facebook, Instagram, and it's like updated 3 years ago, 5 years ago, no. You want to use something latest because Facebook and Instagram change all the time. They change their
How do you know
API.
which application is using that gem? Or
You can. There are ways to see it. Now, most of the popular applications, they also display it under credits. So if you go to Uber, Dropbox, and you find somewhere credits, and then they will list all the libraries that they use. but because it's not needed. Certain license like this, you don't have to mention them. Your question?
Can you explain your screen?
Hmm?
Can you explain your screen a bit more? I cannot see.
Yeah, zoom in, right? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, all right, let's pick one. I want to look at this colorize thing. It looks like it's been around. Last time someone updated this file, I said, oh, maybe it was updated. It was pushed to GitHub 4 years ago, and someone's been using it. Don't have to worry about all of this yet, right? Just see that, okay, are there a lot of people using this kind? If I read the first 10 lines, does it make any sense? If it doesn't, what do we do?
Move on.
Yeah, close the tab, run away, right? Don't worry, right? There's something better. So, look, the way this guy is doing is this. If you read this here now, you kind of understand. You may be a little scared when you see this colon blue. It's like a string. Don't worry about it yet. But this one, you can take any string, and then you can say convert that string into a colored string. You can continue to use your puts. I like that. I don't like the formatador. It sounds like a lot of work to go into my string, right? If I want to print like, if I want to display my done items and it's green, my undone item is red, I have to go in here and then do this all the time. Seems like a lot of code I have to write, so close, go away. Alright, let's look at paint. And paint here, okay, some of it can be tricky, right? It just explained a little bit about, the terminal is different from the web. The colors in the terminal is about how you pick the characters and you add some extra Unicode or something like that, some encoding. So it may be a little, this guy, it doesn't do a good job explaining the gem, you see. But if you go down a little bit, all you have to see is an example. Usage. A lot of gems, you just need to look at this usage, because examples speaks 1,000 words. So look at what this guy's doing. Instead of puts, we know we've been using puts and print. Instead of puts, this guy say paint, and then string is the first argument, and then the second argument is a color. And then I don't know what this guy's doing here. Oh, it's like it can underline, it can do bright. So in terms of formatting, that's kind of nice. You can even make it blink fast. You can, any of the formatting here, I think you can specify text color, background color, instead of just a black color in the terminal. Interesting, but no thank you. This seems like, it's kind of cool, but my code also looks pretty ugly, no? As I'm gonna show you if we use colorize. So I'm actually just making shit up as we go here. I think colorize make more sense because you can even tell your item.new, remember the item class, what color the item wants, done not done, because you can call colorize on the title of the item, and then later you can just say puts. Does it make sense? Okay, so let's use colorize. Now the problem we face is, let's look at our project. How do we use that? It will say, okay, require colorize. Oh, that's cool. That's just like require to do, require list. So I just go and say IRB, require colorize, right? Then it works, right? Hey, if you try it on your computer now, it doesn't work. Why? I happen to have it on my computer. And I did not know this, by the way. I happen to have another gem, and that gem requires this gem. I have a lot of gem on my system. So I have, gem list display all the gems that I have, like this, right? And some gems uses colorize. So maybe you have it, maybe you don't. And then in your terminal, you can just say gem install colorize. So go do that now. And let's play with it. You have to exit out of your terminal, out of your IRB.
How do I?
Tap exit. Okay. Gem install colorize. Control C to quit. Press up and then change one word. Character.
How do I know that?
So if it seems to be running, it's going to the internet and downloads the gem. Unfortunately, it looks like even my screen is not responding here. The internet's not very good right now. Okay, look, successfully installed colorize version. Okay, so when you publish some library, some gem for people to use, you put a version number. Every time you update that gem, you must increase the version number. And that, some people out of 7 billion people in the world use this gem, they may use an older version, no problem, they keep using it. If they want, they can update to use the latest one. Do you have your... Okay, no problem. So you look over the screen, are you able to do gem install? Okay, successful. So let's just go to IRB, okay? Type that. And then type require colorize. And show me if you can get that as true. If it's not there, it will crash. It's just like, no, I can't find it. True? Perfect. You got it? For those of you who got it, let's put A is hello world. A is a string. Right? A is hello world. Okay? What colorize does is that it gives you an extra method on your string. So then you say A colorize. If I say A colorize and I press enter, what happens?
You can tell what color?
No, we'll just say, I'm guessing, okay? And we say, dude, what color? But in a way that it just crashes, right? I want an argument, you give me nothing, I'm guessing. Look, wrong number of arguments. What is the argument? Obviously I gave it 0. So what argument do I say? I say blue. I give it a string. Is it okay? Then it encodes. Now I see why that formatador sort of just do it. Because this is, some of it is a square bracket somewhere, and in here is you have your hello string, but then it convert it to something else.
That's terrible.
So how do I see this as a colored thing? These are special characters. When you print them out, they get changed to something else through colors. So if I do this equals B, okay, I convert this into B. Okay, so now I said put B. Uh-oh. It's not the color I want. Maybe let me try, that's not good, blue. And then put B. Oh, so I need it to be a symbol, not a string. So ignore it. Don't use string blue. You want to use a symbol blue. Okay? And then up whatever up there is invalid. Now I have to teach you symbol. I've been trying to cheat by not teaching symbol. Well, it's easy. You see all this symbol? You can now see the example. Okay? So symbol are just like string. So a lot of times, instead of a string, you may use a symbol like this. Except with symbol, you cannot use a space. So you see people do underscore. That's criteria number 1. Right? A symbol. If you have a symbol called blue, in your whole system, there's only one symbol called blue. When the Ruby app is running, it is there in the memory. And it's there. When you say blue, colon blue again, this is called colon blue symbol. It's always that blue. Okay? So it's like a constant, right? It's like a key word, like constant. What happens to string blue? You say, hey, I want a string blue. Okay, the system says, hey, I give you this memory, right? In there's a string blue. I say, I want another string, I want string blue. And the system's like, you probably don't want that one, I give you another string blue. So even when you compare string blue equals string blue, they may lie in different parts of your computer memory, but they still return true because they look the same. A symbol, there's only one. So that's it, that's the only difference. Can someone guess why do we need a symbol versus a string? Why do I need symbol? I should always use string, no?
Because if you're running a program that has like millions of, a ton of different like method calls,
Okay.
you don't want to use up all that memory.
Yeah, something like this is a very simple example of that. If I have here a million, one, how many zero? 6 0 like this. So it's like, here's an example. If I have, let's say, a complicated program, so you can do something 1,000 times, no, a million times this way. And you see how Ruby, you can even add this underscore just to make it easier to see. And then let's say in this block, you do something, right? Okay, there's no do. In this block, you're doing something. If you just say, blue here, okay? And then you maybe just say, assign this variable blue to this. Okay, maybe you add it to an array. Okay? So what happens? You will have a million string blues. If it takes 1 byte of memory to store this word blue, and you need a million bytes. Because they're just all different strings. Okay? But if you do this blue, there's only one colon blue. And say, oh, and you just want this thing a million times, no problem. Just all just pointing to the same guy. So it could be a little nicer that way. Okay?
Can you repeat that sentence? One pie, what? I cannot understand.
If you run
A
this
string,
code,
a string yet begin to add a string if I change the a equals
yeah, if you see this blue every time there's any string,
memory.
it's nice to have it. But let's say in this program, this is a computer smarter than this. Let's say for a dumb computer, it will just run that a million times and then you have to create the string a million times.
Yes.
If it's a symbol, you don't create, it's always the same.
Do you have a million pointers then? Something I had.
I will not go to the pointer part because it's just it's slightly different from that. But the idea is that they all point to the same symbol. So for example, I have an example here. Maybe my symbol is a variable, okay? It's blue, okay? Another symbol is blue, like this. Okay? Look, so to Ruby, sim.objectID is like your identity here. Is this number. And another symbol has an object ID and it's the same number. You see?
Yes.
But if I have A as blue, B is blue, and then I say object ID of A is that. Object ID of B is that. They're not the same, okay? And then even blue dot object ID is that. And every time you do it, look, it's just like you're creating clones. So it's a bit inefficient.
So what's happening when you blue.object
It creates this variable, it has no name, but you still can use it. So you call a method on this object. Everything is an object. A string is an object. True, false, an object. Yeah. So imagine if you do this a billion times, you actually have a billion string. It doesn't matter because if you exit, all the memories get returned to the program. So that's fine. But sometimes not that smart. Sometimes you get out of the loop and the method, it forgot, right? And it just didn't know, so you waste space. So for our purpose, it really doesn't matter. Right? The computer is very rich, right? We have no problem. There's only the case of colorize, they choose to use a symbol because how many colors can you have? You will, it's a color blue, come on, right? And now, very slightly related, last time you learned that age of a person is, let's say 21, name, this is Ruby hash, right? Key and value, Adele, okay? This is person, and you remember how you can get a person age? and person name. Okay? If you create a million person, you will have a million age string and a million name string. So that's why, economical person, right? Or something like e-person, or something like smarter, is actually people use a symbol because the key will get repeated, the values don't. This is and you see this a lot in Ruby code. That's the only small difference. So now if you create a million duplicate clones of this e-person, I know that this e-person age, then now you do this. It's a symbol. E-person name is a string like that. But you can create a million e-person. I only have one symbol age and one symbol name. You can tell the difference there. I do not expect you to understand the whole thing in that usage. Just have an idea that I can use either or. When I know more, I will start to use symbol more often. Okay? Look, if you want to store the names of all the students of Go to School so far, would you use a string or a symbol? String. Why? Because I don't know how many names there are. So if I have a million students, hey, at least if I use strings, after I'm done, all of them get returned. Like, I can have Nana, I have like Michael, but I use them because if people, only have 10 names, then maybe I use a symbol. Right? It takes a space there and it stays there. All right, here's an example. If I use the name of the classes that Go to School teach, there's key and value here, right? I have a hash, and the key is the name of the class. So when I say that class with a key class name, let's say Ruby 101, like our class, the values will be the list of student names. You see, we only have 5 classes. Then we just use key. So in that case, we used to write like this. Go to School is a hash. In there, we have, let's say, Ruby 101 is, a bunch of students like, Harley, Victor, like, Lloyd, like that, right? Now we can improve it a little bit. We say, actually, I use Ruby 101 a lot, and Go to School only has a few, classes, so I can do that. But you don't want to convert Harley, Victor, Lloyd, because next time they change into someone else. The next class. This is 2017 class. 2018 it will be 3 other students. But my keys don't change. Okay, so it's kind of cool. So that's the idea that lead to only using symbol for this funny colorized method. Okay, so we all try on our computer now. A is hello. Now you can combine them. Dot colorize, and then you pass in a method called blue. Okay, and now you do puts A. Can we try that?
Great. Now puts A.
Fantastic. It makes us happy, right? To be able to just convert a string into some other color. Okay? Great. Are we a little familiar with the colorize gem? Someone just made this gem and it makes my life a lot better now. My program just got a whole lot more interesting. How do I use it? How do I use it?
You just put it in your Gemfile.
Right. Now here's a new concept. We all just listen, right? Ruby. So please stop the experiment there. Let's think about this a little bit. This is how I call the program with this my file. If I call it inside to do here, imagine if I call this require colorize, okay? Okay, so then I go here and try to do, okay? This will work on my system. But then when I give the code to you, if you haven't installed colorize, it will not work. And sometimes it's really annoying because I have another amazing library here, and I start including a lot more, and then you run and like colorize missing. Oh, okay, gem install colorize, and you run it again. Amazing library is missing. Okay, gem install amazing library. Wouldn't it be better if I can just set up with one command that install all the libraries I want? This happens whenever you install any software. They always check for what's called dependency. It means my software is then dependent on these libraries. Okay? So with Ruby, we're just dependent on other gems. Very simple. How do you manage dependency? How do you manage gems? You use something called a gem manager, right? That sounds kind of interesting. A Ruby gem manager. How do you manage gems? Like a manager, what does the manager need? If you manage a classroom, what do you need?
And students.
The list of students. If you manage the Ruby gems, then what do you need? A list of gems. Then we create that gem. And that file, we call it a Gemfile. Alright, so now everything I can take a look at your Gemfile, and then I see if your application is super complicated or not. There are pros and cons of including a lot of gems, right? When you upgrade your tool, when you add anything, it may not work with the old gem. But for now, let's learn how to use other people's gem. So go and create this file called Gemfile on your computer right now, and do two things for me. You need the first line, source. Don't worry if you don't put it, Ruby will complain and you will put it back. So source, that is the website, rubygems.org. And it has to be HTTPS recommended, so it's secure. So someone else cannot just pretend to be http:/rubygems.org. You know that it's possible to do that, right? It's called, they can intercept in the middle and then pretend to be that if you on an unsecure Wi-Fi. But yeah, https://rubygems.org. You guys try that. And the only gem that we do is called gem colorize. So a ton of new concepts in the next 15 minutes. Please, ask if you're not sure, but even if not, you can just go back to the video and then click on this part and see. Are we ready? Have we all tried that?
How come mine's not coming up in the yellow and...
Oh, it's just a syntax. Create a new gem file. Oh, gem file. You cannot name it anything else. Rename it. Excellent. So you definitely don't want both Matador and Gemfile because they do the same thing. But it's cool to check out. Maybe just include them. Create a new file. What do you do there? No, not anything else. So click here.
No extension.
No extension. Click new here. Okay. Gemfile. All right. For those who finish that, if you do on Windows, you do dir or on this you see ls, you see that Gemfile file, right? Make sure the content is just what I have up here. Okay? And now you do something called bundle. Okay, bundle. And then the syntax is bundle install. It means you're installing all the gems from that file. However, because we do that all the time, it's the same. Bundle install is the same as bundle. So type bundle, and then it will install the gem. If you run into an error, it may say bundler is not bundle. I don't know what bundle is. Then I will show you what to do. What would you do in that case?
Gem install bundle.
Bundler, yeah.
Bundler.
Bundle comes from another gem. So we have a gem that provides
Gem management.
the command line to manage other gems. Okay, gem install bundler if you don't have bundle. Do you have bundle? In most cases we have it. Okay, so you don't have it, so type gem install bundler. Enter. So this gem is special. Bundler gives you an executable file called bundle. Okay? So then a lot of people make the mistake, gem is a bundle. And then people create that bundle gem that just install the bundler gem. It is! It's to fix the typo situation, save everyone in 1 microsecond. I know, it's ridiculous.
Some guy somewhere down there.
It's basically gem install bundle will install the gem bundle 0.0.01 version that then install the bundler gem 2.5.0. I know. So bundle, raise your hand if you got this. Fantastic. So we all get there. What happens there? Can you show me what gem file there? So bundle type gem install bundler. Victor, do you get it?
Yeah, just
Gem install bundler, all finished, and then you type bundle. Okay? Okay. So we're thinking more about gem management. And the management here is done in this text file. And the syntax is really simple. Gem space, gem name. Gem name, put it in a string. I use single quote. Now you're much more strong with, you're confident, right? You're stronger with Ruby now. You know single quote and double quote in these cases, they are the same. So don't worry about them, okay? So whatever it is, just keep like double quotes. Alright. You finish bundle?
still installing.
Alright. So that's how we specify everything in the gem. When you do bundle, and it will finish, and then it will create a file called gemfile.lock. And this gemfile.lock is like a contract, right? It finished installing, but it also locked down what gem versions you used. So the next time it just look at this gemfile.lock, it doesn't look at gemfile. Of course, it always look at gemfile to see whether gemfile.lock is out of date. If you add a new file to gemfile, gemfile.lock will need to be updated. Is that you adding a new person to your organization, you need a new contract. But then if that person has already started working, you have the cabinet of all same contracts. So keep them there. Okay? Okay? So notice how it's fixed version here. So let's say if next time I pass it to Victor, Victor say bundle install. Even though this colorize may have updated to 0.9, my gemfile.lock here tells Victor that, hey man, only install 0.8.1 because we tested with 0.8.1. Why take the risk to upgrade to 5.9 and then it doesn't work and then you tear your hair out? The point is to have reliable applications. So locking the version is very important. Some extra information here, like bundle with this version because bundler may change. So it just keeping track of the bundler version. It's a very small thing. It just say if you use the same bundler version, probably it's better. But if there's a newer version, you probably should use that new bundler. It just helps you manage gems in a smarter way. Newer may include some extra features like faster to install. It can run in parallel, or better output. Like right now, you see how it comes with a green text here, because if it's red, there's an error. The very first bundler version, let's say 0.5, it doesn't print this in nice colors like this. Little things. Okay, we all finished. So having bundle, it is nice. Look, there's one thing that maybe it's cool for you is that if you run bundle console, it's a console. It's almost the same as IRB. What is the difference?
Includes all the gems.
Yes, it runs IRB and it require all these gems in here. So your application is sort of in the same way, right? That it's possible to say, hey, I don't even need to say what gems I want to require. Okay? just use my bundle file. We'll learn that. But right now, compare IRB. Normally with IRB, you have to do require colorize, right? And I told you, what if you start having a lot more gem, different names, you want to type require all of that? No. Look at the real application, you have like hundreds. So bundle console is, you can test it. Now I can get a string, hello world, and then colorize, blue, right? It's my favorite color. And then I say puts this, boom, works. So now there's a more powerful way of running the console IRB with the gems that we need. Okay? Go home and find some cool gems if you want. Alright, next. In our app. Now I want, technically, you can say require bundler. And tell bundler to require everything else. Okay? I'm not going to teach you that yet. I'm just going to say, just do bundle install in any project. So now I go to my readme file here. Remember, my readme file tells another person what my app does. I will say, I'll add one more thing down here, right? I'll say installation instruction. Okay? Alright? If you just say run bundle install or just bundle, and then after that, you can run, this is I put code inside this, okay? Then after you run bundle, all the libraries are there. So then you can just say ruby.todo. This is your instruction to people. If you don't tell people to do bundle, they may not have the colorizing, and then it will have an error. And they don't like it when they run your app and then all they see is an error. The brain is not in the mood to fix the errors. They just want to see some cool text. Let's show some cool text. So now I have this list. What if I remember in item dot title here? Maybe in this case of title, I can just say if done. Then this title will be dot colorize, right? Maybe I don't like this. I don't like changing this guy. This is a better programming practice. I will say color, title, or title with color. What do? You say if done, then title, colorize. Hey, look, title is a method up here, returns a string, blue, or maybe green. Green is the nicest, right? Green light. And if not done, then you colorize to what?
Yellow.
Yellow maybe, or red. Okay, great. Green and yellow. You can test it right away. How do you do it? Bundle console, require item. Oh no, you don't require relative. Relative means you require from this current directory. And now I do item.new, and remember I have to test it with the data that I use, which is this one, okay? Not your other home. So this is an undone item, right? Add color to my program. So I add a new to-do item that is not done item. So let's say puts, oh crap, so I forgot to assign it to a variable, right? So I say my, let's say A, okay? I just press up and try it again. So I put A.title, that's normal, add color to my program. Do you say put A dot what? Colored title, then you see yellow. So you can already test the item class itself, right? And how do you, let's say you have A marked as done, right? What is A marked as done? Last time we defined that method, something like A.title, but you changed it. I'm going to just very quickly add the mark as done feature here, okay? Def mark as done, okay? What is it? You change this line, you take the first character and you set it to plus. Very similar to check as done. See that? If from minus, and then down here, I save it, and I'm down here. Obviously, I wish I could just reload the terminal, but I cannot, so I have to load run bundle console again. I require relative item, and now I have this A is this, okay? Puts a dot color, okay? And then I say mark as done, okay? It just returns this because after you run this line, it just returns a string. Don't worry about that output. What you can check is, now puts a dot colorize, title is green. Only one change. Okay, so that looks like I can test. My item thing looks good. What's next? I have to go into my to-do and I search for anything that says title. Look at that, title. So I change it to color title. I search for title again, down here. I change it to color title. I search, only 2 places. Let's run our app. Oh, how do I run it? Just as usual. To do.
Too many requires.
Too many amazing libraries. Okay. Let's delete these guys, right? Alright. So let's try this. What would you like to do? List? Hey, cool. Done? Alright. Maybe all? Oh, I don't have all. So maybe add will be like finish this class. And then it will display all the not done items, right? I don't know, how do you display all? I can't even display all. That's kind of silly. I don't have it, sorry guys. So I don't have it, but that's the idea. Okay? So the idea of adding a library to your app, to-do app, seems okay. So what? I can colorize. The idea of adding this is so powerful that this now, you know that Rails, have you heard of Ruby on Rails? It's no more than just another gem. You go to your Gemfile, you put Rails in it, and you could probably have things working. Obviously, we're not going to do that because there are a lot of errors we have to deal with. Fix it. But I'm going to introduce you to something simpler than Rails. Let's take our app to the web. We talked about making the colors, and it's beautiful, right? Go home and make your app a little bit more beautiful. Next, I want you to put it on the browser. Okay? So the browser, there's a gem called Sinatra. So this may change your life because for the first time you just bring your app from command line to. Do you believe that? Like Sinatra and the first results is that.
I don't know if that's great or sad.
It's good. Software, look at that. I mean, maybe Google just catered that to me, but the idea is Sinatra lets you serve a web application. Now, when you read this, you're no longer afraid. Look, what if in my to-do app, okay, it now can be on the server. I have a to-do.rb, right? I may have an iOS app that reads the same file here. I store it in Dropbox. I can build an app like that. Now I build something else. I call it server.rb. Okay? And I'm going to follow the instruction here. I require Sinatra. How do I do that? I go to Gemfile. And I say, hey, I want Sinatra and Sinatra. Okay? So I'll just follow my screen for now because we're running out of time. I run bundle install, short this bundle, and I have a few more gems. You see they start depending on each other. So I have
those dependencies are in the Gemfile.lock.
And then if you click on them, they start going like crazy, right? You see that, hey, Sinatra adds more gem, okay? So then look at this thing called get. Remember put and get in the terminal? When you do get in the terminal, the user types something. When you say get on the browser, there's no S. This is get. This go to a website, google.com. This is called getgoogle.com. So let's implement our server. So in my server, I just do this. Okay, I go into server.rb and I say require Sinatra. Okay, I say get hello maybe do we can just say, put a string here. Hello, bike. Okay, that's it. So instead of define def in Ruby, there's a new syntax called get. It's just a method. This is just a method like that. It takes an argument, one argument, and then it requires another block. Okay? So it looks prettier without a parenthesis, so we put it out. Okay. So then we do Ruby server.rb. Look what we just see on the screen. Sinatra is taking the stage on port 4567. What it means is that now you can create a visit your own website. Localhost 4567. Press enter. Well, you say, I don't know anything, man. Come on, do this. So this is called getting the root. This is slash. But I wrote something though. Hello, right? Slash hello. Hello back. Think about that. You can now go home and write a to-do application on the web. I'm going to prove it to you right now, right? What if, you go to this list and you can see all your to-do items as done or not done. So I go here, I go back here, and it doesn't know why. You remember, you have to cancel the server and start again because you make changes to your code, okay? And then Control-C is to get out of the server. Hello back, okay? So nothing magic there. This is a Ruby program that is just looping. Remember waiting for the user input, but it's not waiting here. It's waiting in the browser, right? It's just waiting forever until you Control-C to get out. What I'm gonna do here is require item. Well, no, not require item. Relative item. Require relative list. Yeah, and I can start building my to-do. Right? Now require to-do. I kind of need my to-do thing. And I need to maybe load it from something. Okay? So for this to work, my to-do, I need to comment out the automatic thing down here. So next time you can move this to a different file, like command line app.rb. So I'll just comment it out so that when I require to do, it doesn't do all this like gets and puts because I have to do things with the server, right? So I still can do this to-do.new though. Look, server here. Okay, so to-do.new. To-do is to-do.new. Okay? Now, and then down here we need to print out some text. Remember to-do.list? Let's say for now I say I have all my items. I will map all of this guy into all this item. I just want to print out the title. Okay? This is an array of titles and maybe I just join them as a string. Okay? As a string. As a string. So I just join them like maybe this enter thing. Would it work? So I go cancel it. I try again. Alright. Let's see if you guys can understand this. This method I need to return a string to show back to the browser. So I'm taking the list and I go into the items, map, blah 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 blah. I copy this whole thing to even show you if I do it in bundle console, you can see it. To do is I require relative to do stuff, relative to do, and then to do is to do.new. If I paste this, oh crap! I paste this up here. You can test it yourself in the terminal, but I'm going to show it on the browser. Okay, I paste it down here. Oh, list is not exposed. Someone help me fix it. Attribute leader. Hey, to do. Almost there. Here, attribute reader list, right? And then after that we get anyway. I'm gonna just pretend that this will work. So let's run the server again. Let's run this. Buy milk, buy eggs, etc. etc. So here's the homework for you guys, and you can keep doing it forever if you want, because that's only text that I print to the screen. Okay, this is only text. You now can use HTML. And what is HTML? I think here I can just say render, let's say, this is my list, so I can index.html. So I think if I do this and I create an HTML file, I should be able to, I need to read the docs, right? But the doc is so slow that, uh-oh, it doesn't understand that. I forgot. I will have to, I think like maybe HTML is, HTML, I don't know. Is it like HTML index like that? So, sorry, the internet's really not working here, so. That's not good in syntax either. It can't work like that, maybe it's a method. Okay, undefined method, did you mean? Oh, it actually has other, like Haml. So you know about Haml? Okay, HTML only gives you a HTML string. We will learn something else on top of HTML, that you can take variables inside your HTML, and that's called a template. I'll send out some instructions so you can actually see what to do on the web. You know how you can load up the localhost 4567 with your Sinatra gem, and then you can start, instead of your to-do.rb file in this server.rb, you just update your code inside this get block, and then your browser will just update every time you restart. Okay. I wish I could just here. Okay. The power of Sinatra is that once you understand very small baby steps, when you learn Ruby on Rails, you won't be as like overwhelmed and surprised. You actually understand how things work. One problem when we teach Ruby on Rails to a lot of new people is that it's all too much magic. Like you just do it, copy and paste from A to B to C, but they don't understand why. Yeah. So if only I could just take this whirlwind 2 more minutes, I promise. We just learned this, right? We just learned that if we put a text, we see that on the browser. Okay? And then we learned that if, we can have more than, so get is like you receive, you go to visit a browser, post means you submit a form to that page. So we can do more things there. You can even say, go to localhost, or you can put it on your website, /hello, and then /your name. The browser, for example, /intro here, like /hello /your name, it will understand that as something in the params. So your app can deal with input based on the URL. So when you say localhost 4567 /hello /Victor, you can say back hello Victor instead of hello world. All you need to know is that how do you get that variable called params name. That's the colon here. That's a special syntax. That's all. And you slowly learn there's all this extra syntax. What I want to see is their template. Yeah. Okay. So this is in the full-time class. ERB is basically you can put Ruby in your HTML. So I was doing HTML colon index, some reverse of that, because I was expecting it, but HTML is not a template. ERB or anything else is a template. If we have another session, I can definitely teach an ERB part, and you learn a bit of HTML, and everything you've been printing in the terminal can now look on the web, and you can make text that look like this, looks like very bold text like this, or you can have the checkbox, no more square bracket, because terminal is boring. On the web is a checkbox, like real checkbox, people can check on. And as you get more advanced, you can make people hit the save button. All that checkbox that got checked, it changed, it posts back to the server. So your web development journey just started if you go that route. Thank you guys.